It's always important to remember that just because the Rings of Power gets most things wrong, doesn't mean it gets everything wrong. You can dislike the show, but you still have to be fair. I saw this Entertainment Weekly article about the Rings of Power making the rounds, and I just want to correct something people said about it. In the article, Sam Hazeldine, the new actor playing the character Adar, spoke about his approach to the role. Quote, "For me, the appeal was that he's a dark character, but he doesn't see himself as a villain. He's just trying to protect his children, the Uruk." The what now? I must have misheard that. Let's hear that again. "For me, the appeal was that he's a dark character, but he doesn't see himself as a villain. He's just trying to protect his children, the Uruk." Yeah, so my initial reaction to this was the same as everyone else talking about it. The Uruks, or Urukai, are from the Third Age, not the Second Age. They were created about 600 years before the events of The Lord of the Rings. They're based out of Barad-dûr and Orthanc, under Sauron and Saruman's command respectively. This looks like another major change to the lore, like the showrunners are again trying to pull things from The Lord of the Rings because these are the ideas and characters people know. However, that might not be what's happening here. I wouldn't put it past the showrunners to use the word Uruk just because it was in The Lord of the Rings, but technically the usage isn't wrong, because in Black speech, Uruk is the word for orc. The show is supposed to use more Black speech this season, so it makes sense that Hazeldine would use the Black speech word. This is what I mean about being fair. I don't doubt that the show is going to take lots of liberties with Tolkien's languages. They already did it in the first season. Strong Woman calls Adar one of the Mordor, the Sons of the Dark, except that's completely wrong. In Quenya, the word for dark is More, but the word for sun is the suffix eon. So if you wanted to say son of the dark, it would be Morion. To make it plural, you would add the vowel I, pronounced as E, to the end of the word. So sons of the dark should be Morioni, not Moriondor. Except Strong Woman shouldn't be speaking Quenya at all. Because of the kin slain by the Noldor, Thingol bandit in his realm, where Galadriel lived for hundreds of years. The elves who lived in Middle-earth spoke Sindarin, and they had a hard time learning Quenya, whereas the Noldor, Galadriel's people from the Undying Lands, found Sindarin easy to learn. In short, they should all be speaking Sindarin, and that's where things get fun, because to create plurals in Sindarin, you change the vowels, like English does with mouse to mice, or man to men. Sons of the Dark should be something like Meriun, so Morion to Meriun. I admit that's not as easy to say as Moriondor, but it would appear to be more accurate. If you're curious about how the show got to Moriondor, my guess is that they either used an older version of Sun, which would have been Uondo, Eondo, or Ondo. That would have gotten them Moriondo, and then you'd add the final R to get the plural. Or, and I think this is more likely, someone thought adding door to the end of a word makes it plural. I say that because Morion was a word that Tolkien created to describe Morgoth. It means dark one. So someone may have seen this and just added door to the end of it. I can only hope that what happened was that no one bothered to look any of this up, because Amazon hired Tolkien scholars for the show, and I'm pretty sure those people would have told the writers and showrunners that Moriondor is technically incorrect, at least for that time period. Yes, I know I nerded out, but now you know the same useless information I know, so we're all having fun. Anyway, my point is that while the Rings of Power has gotten tons of things wrong, calling orcs Uruks technically isn't one of them. That is the Black speech word for orc. Supposedly, they're going to use quite a bit of Black speech in the show, in which case they're going to have to make it all up because Tolkien created about 36 words in the language. Hopefully, they're just taking what was created for the Hobbit films, because we know some care went into making that version of the language. I doubt the Rings of Power showrunners are all that concerned about the accuracy and integrity of Tolkien's constructed languages. But what do I know? I'm just some guy.